The fake comedian Dave Smith was just exposed on Piers Morgan by Konstantin Kisin over his Israel obsession and really just focusing everything, all the world's problems are Israel, when in reality there are other players and other people that are to blame. Check it out.
So first of all those regime wars you're talking about are the fault of the US and other Western governments who pursued them. That's who's responsible. That's who should be to blame. And as you say, should be prosecuted for that. But the reason people rightly call you a moral relativist, Dave, is that you don't seem to understand the difference between, yes, I think it's quite clear that Benjamin Netanyahu wants regime change in Iran, but that is not the same as the regime in Iran wanting to destroy Israel. There's a big difference. If the mullahs in Iran wanted a different prime minister of Israel, that is not the same as wanting to destroy their entire country. And the reason Israel is as paranoid about these things as it is, let's be honest, it's surrounded, or at least was until recently when opinion in many Arab countries changed towards Israel, thanks to President Trump's Abraham Accords. Israel was surrounded by many, many countries who don't believe that it has a right to exist. And that's the difference. And that's why people call you a moral relativist.
Well, okay, well, that's totally ridiculous and makes no sense at all. And it only works. I'm about to answer, Konstantin. Let me finish. Because it only makes sense when you only say, I ascribe the worst of intentions to this regime and the best of intentions to this. What was overthrowing Muammar Gaddafi? Was that simply replacing the leader, or was that destroying the...
You don't have to infer anything. The Ayatollahs say that they want to wipe Israel off the map. Netanyahu says that he just wants regime change, and he hasn't even he said that before, but he's never gone and said that he wants to wipe Iran off the map. Nothing close to that.
The country, turning it into a failed
You've
state.
You've brought in a different conflict. Let's stick to Israel and Iran.
No.
The Israelis say we want regime change. The Iranians say we want to wipe you off the map. So that's pretty different.
Hold on. So I'm the moral relativist.
Yes.
But then when I point out what one side actually did, you run away from it and say, oh, no, we can't talk about that.
It's your government that destroyed Libya. It's not Israel. It's your government.
Do you know anything about this? Israel was lobbying for us to do this for years.
Who made the decision to do that?
Our government, and I hold them criminally responsible.
So blame them.
Yes, Konstantin, why are you an Israeli? Why are you constantly running cover for them?
Because I believe in speaking the truth and being honest instead of dragging in stuff that's irrelevant.
No.
It's such a pathetic argument. Konstantin, why are you defending Israel? Why are you defending the Jews, the evil Jews? Why are you defending? You're not even Israeli.
No, it's not irrelevant at all. What are you talking about? Yes, my government is criminally responsible for the war that they launched. And the Israeli government is also responsible for constantly trying to lure my government into more wars. That's what I'm standing up against right now.
So the American government is so gullible that they just go around invading countries on the say-so of Israel.
Again, what a straw man, dude. Benjamin Netanyahu came to America in 2002 and testified before Congress that the U.S. should overthrow Saddam Hussein, Muammar Gaddafi, and the Iranian regime. This isn't a secret. He's advocating that we fight more wars. And I'm telling you that this war...
Netanyahu went to Congress and said, I think it's probably a good idea to overthrow the Iraqi government. He also said at that time it's probably a good idea to overthrow the Iranian regime, the Ayatollahs. He said those two things were probably a good idea. You don't have to listen. It's not like Netanyahu has a string attached to the American politicians like the old Jewish caricature in which he controls them. At the end of the day, somebody suggests something to you and you go ahead and do it, you can't turn around and blame them for doing it. You have to take responsibility for your own actions.
War, which we do not need to fight, which is not in our interest, has the potential to be devastating to our country, let alone the region. What is the moral relativism in any of that?
I'm not saying the Iranians are good people. One side wants to wipe the other one from the map. The other side wants not to have people who want to do that in charge of that country.
But
That's
Piers,
the difference.
But Piers, do you not get my, let me just see, Piers, do you get my point here? This is what they said from the very beginning of the war in Gaza. Israel doesn't want to wipe Gaza off the map. Israel just wants to retrieve the hostages and get it, but they are wiping it off the map. So why do you just get to have this standard where you decide what they want to do? I can't base it on their track record. We can't look at Iraq. We can't look at Libya. We can't look at Afghanistan. Evidently, as all the hogs can see, we can look at World War II. Everything is just like World War II, but it's not like the last 25 years of terror wars. These guys have wiped countries off the map left and right.
Well, as you know,
it's their track record.
Yeah, as you know, I've been increasingly critical of the Israel strategy in Gaza. It makes no sense until you hear people like Smotrich talking brazenly and openly about ethnic cleansing. I mean, it doesn't make any pretense. And at that point, I do think that there are certainly people on that in that government at senior level who absolutely want to get all the Palestinians out of Gaza, out of the West Bank. And if that has been their plan all along from October the 8th, then I was duped, and people that feared that were correct. And we'll have to see how that plays itself out. I hope that is not
look at Dave Smith in the corner.
going to actually be the case.
He's like, oh yeah, calm down. Oh, Piers, continue speaking.
And the people who say from the Israeli side, they say to me, well, you know, Smotrich isn't the government. Well, he's a pretty senior member of that government, and he's not even hiding what he thinks should be happening. Before we finish this, guys, I want to just talk about the politics here for Trump as well, because it's really interesting to me. Konstantin, you've got the conservative.
That's the bit I wanted to show you guys. And again, Konstantin called for Trump to be impeached over this potential continuation, or not continuation, over the potential going to war with Iran. He said that Trump should be impeached a few days ago. And basically Konstantin responded, what the hell are you talking about? And then he, is now they're going on this podcast and debating each other. I think that Konstantin made it very clear. One side wants to wipe the other off the map. The other just sees the political leadership of Iran as problematic. That's the difference. And multiple, I would say tens of videos from Benjamin Netanyahu every single day. Iran, Iranian people, I stand with the people of Iran. We support the people of Iran. They are going after only military targets. And versus yesterday, Iran just bombed a civilian hospital. They are bombing all over Tel Aviv because they know that they have no shot. And it's weird. It's very weird that despite all of Israel's success in Iran, despite everything that Israel has been able to accomplish, both the woke right and the woke left are coming together on this one issue because they hate Israel and they hate the Jews. For more, subscribe to the channel. If you want to help us make more of these videos, you can go to buymeacoffee.com/JewishUncensored. You can also go to our channel memberships page and join there as well. Thank you for watching, and have a good one.